A lot of memories on this sideline, huh?
A lot of them, yes. Yes. Most of them in there more than here, but yes, there's a lot of memories on this field, and it's been a fantastic journey.
Let's go back to the start just a little bit. How did you, you've told me the story, you don't have to go way into it.
Yeah.
How did you get to CFC?
So I would say, quote unquote, it was an accident, right? I don't believe in accidents, but quote unquote, it was. At the point, I was a couple of years without playing 11v11 consistently. And I was supposed to play for another team in the league, but 2 weeks prior to the first game, they just didn't contact me back. They didn't reply to anything, and so I didn't have a team at that point. So I just kept training. I knew an opportunity would come. I just believed on it. I kept training, and I came and visited here my friend Samuel Goñi, that he was in the team at the time. So I trained with the team one day. I believe it was a Thursday night, and the coach said, "Hey." After that training, he said, at the time, Bill Elliott, he said, "Do you want to stay?" And I said, "Yeah." Obviously, there was a no-brainer for me, so I took my opportunity. And yeah, I just was training with the team, and the rest is little by little. I earned my spot, and 8 seasons later, and the story is there to see. So I'm just really thankful.
Pretty incredible. That little decision, that little 2-week period changed your whole life.
Yes. My whole life. You're completely right. It's one decision, what could have been at the time a negative thing on my life, it became one of the most positive things that has ever happened to me. So it's amazing how life works sometimes.
Do you remember your first game with CFC?
I do remember my first game with CFC. It wasn't too many minutes, I'm not gonna lie. It was here at Finley, and we were winning at the time. We were doing pretty good, and I remember looking at the club. The time keeps going on, and Coach Elliott called me to get in, and I remember it was just 2 minutes, but it just felt so special to be able to jump on the field for 2 minutes that it was a great memory.
How old were you then?
So I was 25.
25 years old.
25 years old.
Could you ever look back at that guy and when he joined, you went in for those 2 minutes and think it would turn into all this?
No, I could not, but I'm thankful it did.
Back to your NPSL days, did a lot of guys get the feeling of playing pro soccer, playing amateur here in NPSL?
Yes, definitely. I mean, this is one of the things I have always said about CFC is you might have the label of an amateur club, but the way that the club runs, the way that the mentality is, the way that the standards are, the way that the culture is, have always been a professional team.
And now it's just gotten better.
And now it's just getting better. New leadership came in around, and it's been a journey. It's been a journey. It hasn't been easy, but everything that they've done until this point has made the club also better. And look where we are now. I mean, we're on top of the table with a good culture, with a good playing style. So things are running properly, and that's what you want to see.
Let me ask you one other thing. Do you have any game memories that stick out that for you? Any that just stand out for you?
Yes. I mean, obviously that 2015 final that we just talked about, 18,000 people on the stands, incredible. That national semi-final against Sonoma with 12,000 people, those two were definitely distinctive memories. After that, I definitely really enjoyed the Betis game. That for me was a personal top memory because of being against a Spanish team from La Liga. Being able to share the field with legends like Joaquin, that he's also retiring this year. And so that was really good. I also really liked the year of 2019, the first quote-unquote professional year when we moved from amateur to that NISA Legends Cup, that was really fantastic too. The last game, I remember we were fighting to finish somewhere on the top 3, and we ended up coming back from a 1-0. I remember scoring, I believe it was 1, if not 2 of the goals, so it was a good memory for me. But yeah.
I know you've talked about the 2:15 game as being a highlight for you. I've talked to you about that before.
Mm-hmm.
And that game, you talked about walking over the day and the crowd and how big the whole day was. Do you remember gameplay from that game? Do you remember the end and trying to rush to get that tie and what that was like?
I do remember. Yes, I do remember. That was...
Down 2, you got one back. It had to be just crazy.
It was. I mean, we had the crowd behind us, and we were pushing. We were pushing to get that goal. We got the first one, and it was special. It was special. We felt it. We felt the crowd pushing us. We were energized. I remember a couple plays with Samu, with Brock. That we were really close to make that second. We hit the post. Yeah, it was one of those years that we knew we could have, and we gave it all, and I guess that's all we can really ask for the players and for ourselves, right? That we put everything on the field, and we did so. But the taste was a little bit bittersweet because we knew we were so close to make it.
And then for me, just as a fan, for me, the 2016, the next year, that Sonoma game was almost more of a heartbreaker for me than that one. Because it was like that team was great in 2016. You guys were...
Oh, yes. We did. I think we did dominate that year clearly, and even that game. We lost it on what? In the last 10, 15 minutes out of
2 goals in the last 2 bad bounces.
Yes. And because even that game, we should have, in my opinion, we should have gone with another goal for sure, or even 3 before that moment happened. But that is the game. That is the beauty of the game. Sometimes for good, sometimes for bad. Is that even when you do your best and you don't finish it, and you don't punish when you have the chance, that's what the game is about, and that's why soccer is such a beautiful game, right? Because you could be the best team and have a couple bad moments, or you could be the worst team and have a couple good moments, and things can happen. So it's never give up, always keep going, and punish when you have your chances.
That's why we love live sports.
Yes, that is correct.
Don't know what's going to happen.
You don't know.
That was one of the worst losses, kind of, for me, just as a fan.
I would agree as a player as well, just because of how all the good feelings that we were having this year, and how fun it was to be on the field. Like, playing on that year was probably one of my favorite playing years, in terms of knowing that we were doing everything right, we were having fun on the field, it was joyful. And we had the chances to go all the way, and it was just 2 moments, like you said. But like I also said, it's part of the game, and some of the best lessons on life have come from the game on situations like that. So
Yeah, that's crazy. That's I think we might have broke the record for 18,000 the next week if we.
I think so. I think we will have, because
Yeah.
that game I believe it was
13.
13, right? 12 something. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, there's been fantastic memories on the field.
One I have that sticks out I want to ask you about is that, remember that you took that
That free kick.
you took that free kick.
Yes.
Take me back through that. You remember that free kick?
Yes, actually, thanks for reminding me, because that's also a good memory. Yeah, so at the time I was coaching at West Florida in the off season. So I took everyday balls out there and I was working on my finishing and some of the free kicks. So the game got to that point and I think somebody was gonna take it, and I remember Lima saying, "No, you go and take it." And I was like, "But he's gonna take it." He's like, "No, you go and take it." So I grabbed the ball and I just, I saw the keeper. I was gonna first shoot to the other side, but then I saw the keeper that I thought he was gonna cheat. So I decided just to shoot it on his side, and I hit it right, and it went in. The keeper did move a little bit, so that's why it opened up that gap even more. But even so, I think I hit it the best way I could at the moment. The ball went in on the corner, and
I've been practicing for a year, so it's pay off. I practiced for a year, so it finally pay off.
all the training did have its reward on a crucial moment. So that's always really, it brings you a lot of personal reward.
That's almost your best single strike in your career here, isn't it?
Probably, yes, I would say so. It's probably the best. It is the best free kick I ever scored.
The Chattanooga
Yes.
in your career here. When you first came here, did you hear about them, or you had to learn them and see them and hear them and all?
So I played against CFC on July 4th on 2014. I was playing for a team in Huntsville at the time, and I remember coming here on July 4th. That's when I kind of heard a little bit about the team.
That's your first trip to Findlay?
That was my first trip to Findlay ever. So the team was already first at the time. I knew it was gonna hard game. Everybody was talking about it, and I heard about the Chara hooligans, and I was like, man, it's just soccer. I'm just gonna go play. And when I'm on the field, to be honest, I play. It's only when those like low moments that suddenly you feel all the energy, and that just motivated me more on that day, because I love that. I'm a competitive person, so that's something that for some people it might pay them away because they might feel the pressure. For me, it's more of a joy because I like the challenge. So that was something that motivated me, and after that, knowing that they were there game after game, it was an extra motivation for me because of the same reasons, because I'm a competitive person. I like to do things right, and knowing that they love you and that they expect you to do good, but they expect you to do good in a positive way, that like every time I was playing and I had that you could go a little bit low mentally or emotionally, it was a quick switch to be like, hey, just if it's not for you, do it for them. So there was no negotiation anymore, right? It's one of those points that you want to do the best for you and for your team because that's what you're supposed to do. But when those things got crossed around and you felt the energy and you looked at them and just like, nah, don't even. Just gotta keep going because if it's not for you, it's for them.
That's cool. The Chattahoogas are just awesome.
They're just awesome. No matter how you look at it, they're just awesome.
And we talked about Chattanooga changed your life soccer-wise and coaching-wise, but also personally-wise with your wife. Tell me a little bit about, first of all, do you remember Juan Hernandez? He'll steal your girlfriend too.
Yeah, I do remember that, yes.
Those were fun times.
Those were fun times.
And then after those times, tell me how you met your wife. How'd you guys get together?
So, obviously she was part of the women's team. I was part of the men's team, and I remember one time I was injured, so I was on the stands. I was with the hooligans, and then she was somewhere around there, and I just kind of remember crossing eyes. Like it was just a fun environment, but we both smiled, and from there I was like, wow, I just felt something different. So, yeah.
Were you nervous asking her out the first time?
Not really. It just, I don't know. It just, I was confident and it just felt the right thing to do.
You're Juan Hernandez.
Well, she was Summer Lantern.
She's Summer Lantern,
so,
that's right.
So I should have been nervous, right? But I don't know. It just felt natural, and I think that's the beauty of our relationship. I thought she was she is a really pretty girl, but the part that I love most about her was how fearless and how combative she was on the field, right? When you see somebody having that kind of heart and putting it on the field that way, you gotta think she's gotta be like that outside of the field. Like she's gotta be a person that she will go with you through life.
And pound for pound, who's the best player?
She is, clearly.
Summer is?
Yeah, she will always be the best player.
Why is that?
Because she's my wife. I gotta say that.
And she's got a great game.
And she's got a great game. She's a fantastic player. She's done well through her youth career. She's done great in her college career, and she's done great in her adult career.
Pretty cool to get her back to the women's team?
Yeah, that's what, I mean, everything worked out to be that way, and I'm just really happy that we're both on the same organization, so it's fantastic.
Was it a tough decision to retire from playing? What went into that for you?
It was tough. It was tough because I always wanted to play forever, right? I always wanted to play forever. I always wanted to represent this club as long as I could, and then it's just kind of, sometimes it's life, you know, everything has to end at some point, and I know I did everything I could. I did everything on my power to be ready, to maintain myself ready to this level, and it just had to end, right? It just had to happen. Like my heart started to change, my mentality started to change, some of my passion started to shift a little bit more to coaching, so it just became an easy decision with a lot of hard steps in between to make that decision.
Interesting. Yeah, for every athlete, any level you play at, there's a day you come and you got to move on, right? That's a tough day.
It is a tough day, and we fight it until like it just becomes clear, right? You don't want to accept it. It's hard to accept because we all believe it's gonna be forever. We all feel always young and perfect, and though I still feel that way, there was something that was shifting. And to be a professional athlete, either you're all the way or it's better to become a mentor and to help others to become better.
So there's a physical component to it, but there's also a mental, you kind of moving on. It's both, right?
Yeah, it is a mix of both, because the physical part can be adapted and can be trained even when you get older. I mean, we see a lot of professional athletes that stay long in the game. But it is true that it is not easy. Let's say it that way. It is not easy. There is a lot of dedication, a lot of things that you have to do on your daily basis. And my hard work was shifting to coaching. So it just kind of became, quote unquote, not compatible because of the amount of things that I was doing outside of training, that it was not allowing me to maintain the level of standards that I like to be at. So eventually, mentally, that decision started to become a little bit easier, though emotionally, it was still really hard to accept that it was coming to an end.
And your passion for the game turned to coaching, so that's another pull, right?
Correct. So that's another pull. Like I said, the professional game is not I cannot do it 80%. I gotta do 100%, and physically and mentally and emotionally. So yeah, my heart was calling for other things, and it was hard to accept for me personally, because I always wanted to keep playing, but at the same time, it became easy to accept as I more listened to myself and more I realized that, hey, there is more out there. There's a lot of things in the future for me, and I wanna explore them.
Let me ask you one more thing in that vein. You talked about your memories are out on the field a lot. What was it like as the last couple of years as you kind of gave up that starting role? Was that another tough to adjust to kind of sitting on the bench and not being a part of it as much?
It is tough. It is tough because I am a really competitive person.
You're the leader out there for so long.
Yeah, so that too. But for me, it's more of an inner battle. I'm a really competitive person. I like to help and I like to do it on the field. And though I felt like my role outside of the field was still important, emotionally sometimes it was not that easy to accept. So it just became better for me to continue focus on the things I love and to continue helping people on a different way than continue to helping people on the field. So
it's a tough adjustment to be the leader on the field and have to watch somebody else go out there and do it.
Yeah, but it is tough, but it is also really, I'm gonna say humbling, but also it's great to see people that are getting out there and doing it. Like I love to see Richard stepping up and being a fantastic leader, and Alex McGrath and like Marcus, we just saw him to do these things. Like I said, everything ends. So the best thing you can hope for is that once your time is, that there is somebody there that is gonna be as good or better than you are, and that your job on the process and on the journey was to leave the place in a better place. And I really hope I feel that way, but I really hope people have seen that as well.
That's a great outlook you just said. Leave it better than you found it. So yes. I'd say you leave it better. You left this place way better than you found it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Just getting back to coaching, is that something you kind of want to do? Is that where you're going to go long term?
Yes. Yes, it is. All my family have been high-level coaches. Well, high-level players too, but high-level coaches. That's most what I've known all my life. My dad, my uncle, my sister, my brother, they're all in the game. My aunt. So they all have been at a really, really high level as coaches. So even as a kid, I always knew that was what I wanted to do. So I just didn't know exactly how it would work out, because I also really enjoy education. So that's why I think coaching brings the best of both worlds, which is the educational part of the person first, and then also obviously of the game aspects, but also the competitive part of the sport, right? So that kind of brings both worlds that I like the most. And so yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of my passions. Playing was my first passion until that started to shift, and now coaching is definitely my passion. And I still play around and I still train with the first team sometimes, but the heart is shifting. It was shifting, and the moment I accepted that, that's when things went for the better.
That's cool. Let me talk about Saturday real quick. It's going to be, how are you preparing for that? Are you you're practicing a lot? Is it going to be emotional for you?
It will be emotional. It will be emotional. I mean, it's many memories. Like we talk about some of them, but there is so many other memories, like so many good ones, so many bad ones, so many life lessons that have happened on the field, so many friends that I have met during this journey. I mean, some of them I could honestly call brothers at this point. My wife through that journey as well. It's a lot. It's a lot that has happened in my life positively, and it's a lot that has happened in my life that has helped me grow. That it is gonna be an emotional moment, yes.
El Capitan.
El Capitan, one more time.
That's great, one more time. And I just want to say, this will close it out, Juan. I just want to say to you, it's been a great run for you. And on behalf of Chattanooga and CFC fans and just everybody in Chattanooga, I just want to thanks for all your hard work as a player. And more importantly, your hard work teaching kids and kind of raising up not only good soccer players, but good kids. I just want to say thank you.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done it any other way. I don't believe there was any other way to do it. So it's who I want to be, it's who I always wanted to be. I want to make sure what I do can help people to get better. Part of it was on the field, and part of it was off the field. And I really appreciate everybody that has supported me in the journey, because when you want to do things and your intentions are right, no matter how much you try, if there's no people around you that believe in you and that support you in the journey, some of those things won't happen. So CFC has been my best ally, and I know CFC has done a lot for me. The Hooligans have done a lot for me, and I just hope everything I've done has give back at least 1% of what I received from the club.